Salutations to the nations, Angel Knots. What's good? It's your boy Young Sinai.
Angel Knot.
So today I will be reacting to a video by the Queen G22. I really like her videos, Shout outs to all of the female blurs out there, right? So this video is called Sega Gamers Are the Worst. Here's why. I said what I said. She came out swinging, looking for war. All right. Let's hear what she got to say.
Queen G22. Ninja Turtles gaming geek stuff and travel.
Yo, her Ninja Turtle stuff is hard. Y'all should go check her out.
And hello.
Her collection is huge.
I know some of y'all have been waiting for this video. So we're gonna knock it out
She came in wearing a Nintendo jumpsuit. You know what I'm saying?
today.
She said she is standing on her gang.
So I will have documented information of why this happens. Now, some of you have been following me since my streaming days, right? 2020 to 2022. Back then, I think I would make mention of why I had this feeling towards Sega, but I don't think that I've ever fully detailed why. So
I love how we're in the 2020s and she is still keeping this console war between Sega and Nintendo going strong. Not PlayStation versus Microsoft, but Sega, a dead company, technically, well, consoles versus Nintendo. I love it. I'm here for it.
let's do that right now. Now, hold on. Before you finger typing warriors get to work, hear me out, okay? Just let me say what I have to say and then try to finish through the whole video. Video's not gonna be that long, okay? I'm gonna go bop, bop, bop. It's not gonna be that long, but trust me, at the end of this video, I am going to say something that you might find shocking. So I implore you, just try to keep your little angry feelings before you hit the comments. So I'll be able to tell if you saw the whole video or not, because you'll sound kind of stupid if you say some shit and I'm like, well, obviously, okay, you didn't see the whole video, but that's
I'm sorry, I'm gonna be stopping you all throughout this. You feel me? So I might sound stupid towards the end, but let's go.
fine. Sometimes people just got to say what they have to say. So let's get into it. I have 3 points. 3 points, and then I'm gonna wrap it up, and then you're free to go nuts and say all your Sega loving stuff and how you feel disrespected and all that kind of stuff.
To be clear, where I'm at is I love Sega and I love Nintendo. I mostly lean towards Nintendo, Super Nintendo. My parents are divorced. I had a Sega Genesis over at my mom's house. So I do love Sega Genesis. Specifically, some of the games that I love on there is Contra Hardcore. That's the best Contra. I don't care what nobody say. Contra Hardcore and Beavis and Butthead.
So, number one, some of you are too young to understand this, and
Power Rangers.
it shows, okay? But back in the day, see, I was born in 82. Now, I know I look amazing. That's not the point, okay? Back then, there were 2 types of households. You were a Nintendo household or you were a Sega household, okay? Now, some of us, our parents, or actually your parents, tried to show that they loved you by buying you a Super Nintendo and a Sega. But most of us were a Nintendo house or a Sega house. And then there were some of you that you were a one or the other household, but you had a friend or neighbor or family member or whatever that had the other console. So you had access to both consoles. So you never really developed that loyalty to one or the other. But me, clearly, as I continue to say I'm a Nintendo fangirl, we were a Nintendo household, period. Nintendo all day, every day. And that's just the way that it was. So I'm a Leo. I'm loyal, period. Like, once I decide that I'm messing with you, I got your back. I'm rolling with you. So I declared my loyalty to Nintendo at a very young and early age. And I'll admit, growing up, that was part of the fun, was the rivalry. Was going to school and talking trash about Sonic or talking trash about Mario, talking about the new games that were coming out for this console that weren't coming out for this console. I mean, it was...
Man, y'all would have had to been there, man. Well, I know y'all was there because when I check my analytics, most of y'all and y'all like late 20s to 40s. So a lot of you are in your 30s like me. So y'all know, man. That was, oh, man. Oh, my gosh. It just brings me back to such a good time. I had a lot of bad times back growing up, but everything surrounding video games is gravy.
It was just part of the fun. I mean, we kind of have that today with like PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo, but I feel like everyone kind of just knows their place, right? Like Xbox knows what their strengths
Back then, you had to put people in their place.
are. PlayStation knows what their strengths are. Nintendo knows what their strengths are. So not really a rivalry, but it is fun banter, okay? So I was a Nintendo household. That's who I grew up, and that's how I represent Nintendo to this day. Number 2, my second point. It's the way that Sega jumped on the scene that I find.
Did y'all see her animation of her twerking in the, oh my gosh, and the turtle throwing money? Oh my gosh.
Incredibly disrespectful. You find my slander when I'm out and about, shopping for video games, and we'll see Sega and we'll make a comment. You feel, oh my God, so disgusted. But does anyone ever still talk about how Sega jumped on the scene? Let me give you a little.
Yeah, they jumped in super disrespectful. I've talked about that before. It's almost like they didn't have it's like their identity was trashing Nintendo. Like when you come out the gate swinging like Sega does when Nintendo don't. Look how much cooler our mascot is than yours. Don't be like the little red guy. Like, yo, y'all throwing all shots. So you better expect some mudslinging back.
Just a quick Reader's Digest version of it. Nintendo was already on the scene, minding their business. Now, Nintendo has been around since the 1800s. Now, not necessarily in the gaming industry, but they have been around trying to find their way. They have already sunk their feet in. They survived the huge gaming crash that happened in the 80s. They hung around. They were just doing their thing, minding their business. And here comes Sega with their sole only purpose, not to be competitive with Nintendo, but
to kick Nintendo off the throne.
To take Nintendo down. That's how they came on the scene. They recruited a shark hunting toy guy as their marketer in order to take down Nintendo. You think I'm wrong? Look it up. If you haven't seen Console Wars, I implore you that you go see it. It is a wonderful.
They implemented a who? They recruited a who? Hold on, let me run that back.
If you haven't, marketer included a shark hunting toy guy as their marketer in order to take down Nintendo. You think I'm wrong? Look it up. If you haven't seen Console Wars, I implore you that you go see it. It is a wonderful documentary on the little beef between Nintendo and Sega. It's fun. And then also, if you're really feeling like you want to be educated, there is a documentary on Netflix, and I will put it on the screen and the info in the description. And that one kind of breaks it down even before Nintendo. I'm talking in television, ColecoVision, Atari, Channel F, all that kind of stuff. Anyways.
Yo, I wonder, do she go this hard for Power Rangers versus Ninja Turtles? Because we can clearly see how much of a Ninja Turtle fan she is just by the background. So I wonder, does she get in these same type of debates regarding the Power Rangers?
I digress. Their goal was to take down Nintendo. It wasn't to, have a market. They had their market, and then Nintendo had their market. No, Sega was like, we're going to come here and we're going to shut this shit down. You remember, right? Because what do you guys like to say? Sega do what Nintendo don't.
What Nintendo don't.
Like, Nintendo didn't put any slander out towards Sega.
You don't stop playing because you get old. But you could get old if you stop playing.
It was Sega coming out with their hateful and trying to put Nintendo down. You think I'm wrong? Again, watch the documentary. The sales guy will tell you one of his jobs was to figure out a way to make fun of Nintendo. So as a business owner myself.
What a fun job. Yo, what they should have did, especially when it was since it was the 90s, they should have just went on like elementary school playgrounds and just recruited the best kids that did your mama jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like just joning on each other. That would have been cold.
Just find it tacky. Like, you can't even find your own way into the market. You want to try to bring us down in order to bring yourselves up. It's lame, bro. It's lame. So that in itself, I mean, you should see the documentary Console Wars. You should see that. But that in itself, I just think like, dude, you guys are a bunch of suckers. Like, you couldn't even just figure it out.
Was it like really just a one-sided war? You know, if Nintendo wasn't really popping back off as Sega, it was really just like a one-sided war. But on the streets, though, on them playground streets, man, it was like Bloods versus Crips.
You just were just like, we're just gonna try to make fun of them, make them look stupid, and then we'll look better. Get out. Miss me with that, okay? Number 3, the third reason why I say so much about Sega, and it's solely on the purpose on how much you guys hate it. You guys cannot stand it. When I say guys, dude, don't get crazy again. I'm old. I mean, the hardcore people that honestly feel disrespected when I'll be like, oh, Sega sucks. And then you're in the comments like, oh my God. Like, I genuinely find it funny and entertaining for myself how upset you guys get. And I think
Yeah, man, people take this stuff so seriously. I love it. It's just like when I made the slightest It's just like when I made the slightest comparison to the Nintendo Switch versus the Steam Deck. Oh my gosh, you would think that like I said like something about your mom or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, golly, y'all trying to kill me in the comments. That's why I went ahead and made my whole Steam Deck versus Game Boy video. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's really compare something.
it's interesting. It's kind of like PlayStation gamers. Dude, go tell a Nintendo gamer right now that their frames per second sucks. They can't handle high quality games.
They will not care.
They'll never be as strong as PlayStation. Go tell a Nintendo gamer that right now. You wanna know what they're gonna say? They're gonna be like, yeah, it's true. Like, we know our role. We know our games. We love our games. We're happy with our games. Like, we're not trying to compete with PlayStation and Xbox. But tell a PlayStation gamer and a Sega gamer, you guys suck. They lose their shit. Like, they're so defensive. I don't know.
Yeah, PlayStation is like that too, man. I don't know what it is. Golly.
Why that is. Somebody tell me why that is. Is it because of the amount of money that you spend on PlayStation games and how weak your library is? Like, I don't know why you guys just feel the need to defend it so like to your core. Like, I mean, Nintendo gamers, we're just like, yeah, our games are okay. we're totally okay with it. So that's another reason why I continue to say it, is because how much it just like your panties just get so bunched up. It tickles me, and yeah, I want to apologize for that, but I mean, you guys say what you guys want to say in the comments. So I mean, why can't I have a little bit of fun as well, right? That's all I'm saying. And number 4, and this is, I
thought she only had 3 reasons. Maybe I'm tripping.
3 points. Now, this is where I'm going to wrap it up, and this is where I'm going to say something that you might find incredibly shocking. I love everything that has to do with gaming history. Have you not seen my game room? I have ColecoVision and television, Ataris, what's this thing, a Turbo Graphics, I mean, Neo Geo. I respect Channel F. I mean, everything that has done something in the gaming history that has put us where we are today in the gaming world. And that includes Sega Genesis, or just Sega. I mean, come on. I did a whole video on modifying.
That's a hard Game Gear. I ain't gonna hold you. That's a hard Game Gear. See, I like the white. I'm color deficient, y'all, so bear with me. It's either white or gray. Y'all tell me in the comments, please, if that's white or gray. But yeah, I like when, you know, people mod handhelds in different colors than typical black. Even though I love black consoles.
Sega Game Gear and how excited I was to modify this thing. If I truly hated Sega, would I have one of these? No, I would not. I have a Sega emulator. I don't really play it that much, but I do have a Sega emulator. So
she said she don't got no Genesis, but she got an emulator.
Understand that all of the Sega slander is completely all in fun, but you continue to fuel me. I like to feed the fire. I think it's fun, but I mean,
and it run up them numbers too, you know what I mean? So hey, go ahead and get it.
You can't really hate anything that left their mark in the gaming history. You can't do it. So, I mean, look at Sega now. Now, they're not making consoles because they got blown out. Their Dreamcast and Sega Saturn and...
Dreamcast was one of the hardest consoles. Like, I don't know why it didn't sell well, or I don't know why it failed. We'll probably have to look at a video on why it failed, because that was the peak console for them. It has such good games like Unreal Tournament, Crazy Taxi, of course, Jet Set Radio, or Jet Grind Radio. What else did it have? Of course, you know, the different Sonic games. That was a great console.
32X or whatever, sales were so atrocious it put them out of business, but that's how you learn. And as a business owner myself too, I mean, if it was really that bad, would Nintendo be selling Sega games, right? No, this is a business move. Like, Sega is now, they're a game developer, they know their role, they do what they're good at now, and we've all embraced, I guess, gaming, period. Yeah, so there's my video. There's no reason to get upset. I love it all, but if you catch me on the streets and you bring me that Sega shit, I'm going to back Nintendo all the way, all day. Let me know in the
All right, yo, that video was hard. I really like her channel. We're going to have to react to more of her videos. I watch them from time to time. I just never done a reaction to them. But make sure that y'all go ahead and subscribe. I didn't know I wasn't subscribed to her, so I'm definitely going to go ahead and do that now. That is the Queen G22. All right, y'all. Be real. Salutations to the nations. God bless. Peace.
Angel Knot.